Hey guys, Tom here, and today I am bringing you my WWE Raw review for the 1st of August 2016. So I stayed up until 4 AM to watch Monday Night Raw. Was it worth it? I'd say it was pretty good. It wasn't as good as last week, but it was always going to be hard to top last week's Raw because that was one of the best Monday Night Raws of all time. So it was always going to be hard for them to have it as good as last week, but it was still pretty good. I'm going to give this week's Raw a 7 out of 10. I thought it was decent. I thought it was really entertaining. It still feels fresh. It feels like we're watching something new and fresh and interesting. It was entertaining. It was good. For me, I pretty much enjoyed it. Okay, so the main event, the main attraction was Brock Lesnar. There's always a big feel in the air when Brock Lesnar's around. I can tell why. He's a fucking beast. But whenever Brock Lesnar is on Monday Night Raw, there's always a kind of feel in the air. You're always really anticipating what Brock Lesnar and Paul Heyman are going to do. So this was really great. We waited all the way until the end to see Brock Lesnar, and it was awesome. Paul Heyman cut a really good promo. So far into this feud, I wasn't really feeling it. I kind of felt like they announced the match, but there wasn't any build towards it. But when Paul Heyman came out, he cut a great promo on Randy Orton. He cut a great promo about the match and why you should watch it. Now, I really want to see the match, and that's his job. Paul Heyman's great at it. He really makes you want to watch Brock Lesnar matches, and I really want to see this match now. And the most important thing which happened was that freaking RKO out of nowhere. They say the RKO's out of nowhere, but this really was out of nowhere. Like, I had like one eye on the screen, and I completely missed this. This was crazy. You just didn't expect Randy Orton to turn up and RKO Brock Lesnar during a Paul Heyman promo. It just didn't make sense, but it was amazing. You just didn't expect it. It was absolutely brilliant. So he RKO's Brock Lesnar. It's been a while since we saw Brock Lesnar reeling like this, on his knees, because somebody has striked him down like that. Randy Orton runs off, he celebrates in the crowd. It was picture perfect. I really liked it. I also really enjoyed the fact that Mick Foley and Stephanie actually came out because Randy Orton had invaded Monday Night Raw. It just kind of makes it feel like the Raw roster and the SmackDown roster are just completely different, and SmackDown guys, they are not allowed on Monday Night Raw, and I really liked that. It was sort of an invasion. Instead of having Randy Orton just come out there, it was sort of an invasion by Randy Orton, and he wasn't actually allowed to be there. So overall, I thought it was well worth the wait for Brock Lesnar at the end. Great promo, awesome RKO, I really did not expect that. And then I just loved the fact that it was sort of like an invasion, and he wasn't really supposed to be there. Now, talking about Monday Night Raw, we've got to talk about the opening segment. How many times has Raw started with a boring authority promo, something like that we just hate, and we've seen it all before, but this just felt fun and fresh. We had Sasha Banks, Charlotte, Enzo, and Chris Jericho all in the ring at the same time. It just kept getting out of hand, didn't it? It started with Sasha, then Charlotte came out, then Chris Jericho came out, and then Enzo came out. You didn't really know where it was going, but you just didn't really care where it was going. It was just so funny. Chris Jericho was the highlight of this. He is a comedy genius. He came out and said Charlotte was royalty? He even called Sasha Banks the boss of stupid idiots. The best bit was when Enzo was flirting with Sasha Banks. Chris Jericho and Charlotte were laughing at them, and he was like, got a couple of haters. This was just brilliant. It just got out of hand, but it was fun. It just looked like they were having fun. Chris Jericho is a genius as a heel. Now it does seem like he's going to team up with Kevin Owens, which is just going to be a whole different level that we haven't seen before. That is going to be so freaking funny. But this was great. It was awesome. It was entertaining. It was something new that we haven't seen before. And then we got a mixed tag match out of it, which we haven't seen for a while either. So the mixed tag match was pretty decent. I quite enjoyed it. Now, some people are complaining that Sasha Banks lost clean in the middle of the ring, but Charlotte, she just lost the belt last week. She needs to build herself up. They're building up this match for SummerSlam. Charlotte, she needed a big credible win over Sasha Banks. Currently, it's kind of like 1-1 because Sasha won last week and now Charlotte pinned her this week. So they're just building the match. She's not buried. I wouldn't worry about it too much. Everybody just needs to calm down. Another thing we've got to talk about is that segment with Finn Balor and Seth Rollins. Now, I wasn't really too keen on this. I felt like Finn Balor was quite wooden on the microphone. He wasn't that convincing. It just felt a little bit like flat and like he was acting and he wasn't actually saying it from his heart. I don't know if you guys got that impression, but the funny thing is that somebody noted to me, he was standing next to Seth Rollins, who when he came in, he was exactly the same, and now Seth Rollins, he's probably one of the best talkers in the company. He's got so much emotion behind him. So it was his first promo since coming up to the main roster, so you can't really expect anything else from him. I mean, Seth Rollins was really bad when he first debuted. He couldn't talk at all. But now he's great, so we've got to give it time. But for me, it just felt a bit wooden, a bit flat, and it just didn't really feel right. So this segment didn't really do much for me, but I know the match is going to be good anyway at SummerSlam, so I wasn't too bothered about that. So once again, we had Braun Strowman and Nia Jax in squash matches. Now, I don't really like these squash matches. They're boring. They don't really do a lot for me, but these ones were short, they were sweet, and they did the job. So Braun Strowman, from what I can see, he's got a really nice moveset, and I can kind of understand why they want to push this guy. He's not that bad. He is a freaking monster. He's got like a monstrous look. His theme song is crazy. He just doesn't care about his opponent, and I'm not that bothered about it. I think he's good. Now, Nia Jax's squash matches are okay as well, but it kind of feels strange that they've got two people at once in squash matches. It does feel a little bit too much. Something else we got confirmation of that is that Roman Reigns is going to face Rusev for the US title at SummerSlam. So this is pretty new, and I quite like it. I think Roman Reigns, everybody hated on Roman Reigns because he was getting all these main events. If you look at the main events in the last 12 months, I bet Roman has been in 90% of them. But if he's in a feud with Rusev, a mid-card title, then that kind of takes the pressure off him, and that kind of makes it a little bit easier to like him, because people were paying like £500 a ticket, $500 a ticket to watch a show, and Roman was always in the main event, and people didn't want Roman in the main event. But if he's in the mid-card, it's a little bit more tolerable. And I think that they've been doing something pretty stupid in the fact that they've been putting Roman Reigns up against opponents that people like. Triple H, Brock Lesnar, AJ Styles, Dean Ambrose, Seth Rollins. People like to cheer those heels. But Rusev, he's a classic badass heel. People hate him because he's a good heel. So I'm all for this feud. I think Roman has really improved in the last few weeks. People continue to hate on him, but I don't think he's actually been that bad. He was good at Battleground. He did some good work last week. He's improved a lot on the mic. He has got a great look, and I think this feud should be really, really good. If he's in a mid-card championship feud, it just means that they're not shoving him down our throats anymore. Honestly, I think this match will be really good. I mean, in the past, Roman has had some great matches against big guys like Big Show, Bray Wyatt, and I think Rusev is going to be another one. I think this is really going to be a great match. I really like the segment afterwards where Roman was hitting the Superman punches on Rusev. It was great. It just felt something new that we hadn't seen before. We're sick of seeing Roman in the main event. He's now going for the US title, so you can't really complain about that. This match is going to be good. We're kind of sick of seeing Roman in the main event, but this is something new and that we haven't seen before. We also got the re-debut of Jinder Mahal. All the people that they could have brought back. Khalito, John Morrison, MVP. They decide to bring back Jinder Mahal. We could have got bloody Kurt Angle, but we got Jinder Mahal. Out of all the people they could have signed, why did they re-sign Jinder Mahal? I was so happy when he got released because nobody cared about him. It's a new era, and they're signing Jinder Mahal. Made absolutely no sense. Another match we've got to talk about is that match between Sami Zayn and Rollins. That match was freaking awesome. It was really, really good. I absolutely loved it, but I just don't understand why Sami Zayn once again has lost clean in the middle of the ring. He had that huge win against Kevin Owens at Battleground. He then went on to lose in his fatal four-way match last week on Raw, and then again he loses to Seth Rollins clean in the middle of the ring on Monday Night Raw. What was the point of giving him that huge win at Battleground if he's not going to do absolutely anything with it? He's just doing nothing with it. He has no direction right now. He's just lost to Seth Rollins in the middle of the ring. I just don't get it. I really wanted to see another match between Sami and Kevin Owens. It now looks like Kevin Owens is busy with Chris Jericho and Enzo and Cass, and what's left for Sami Zayn? He got that huge win at Battleground, and he's doing nothing with it. I understand Seth Rollins needed a big win, but couldn't he have beaten anybody on the roster? Rollins looks great in every match he has, so why did he have to beat Sami Zayn of all people in the middle of the ring? So for the second week in a row, we got the club attacking the New Day. Honestly, I am getting a little bit bored of the New Day. I think it has actually run its course now, and I do think we are potentially looking at new tag team champions at SummerSlam, and I really like this because the club, they paid so much money for the club and they haven't really been taken seriously. When they first debuted, it looked like they were going to be taken seriously and they just got lazy and then they started losing every single week. But now they're attacking the New Day for the second week in a row. They look badass. They are being taken seriously. This is how they should have been booked when they first debuted. They look great. I'm really interested in this match and overall they look like beasts. So, what did you guys think of this week's Monday Night Raw? It's going to get a 7 out of 10 from me. It wasn't as good as last week, but of course it wasn't going to be as good as last week, because last week was just off the scale. This week was good. It was better than most of the Raws we've seen this year. I really liked it. I thought it still felt fresh. I loved the RKO at the end. The opening segment was hilarious. Some good matches. Rollins against Zayn. Overall, it was a pretty good Monday Night Raw. 7 out of 10 from me. Comment your thoughts below. Take care. Spike your hair.